Hi, welcome back to Susanna's Pioneer Survival Skills. In our last episode, we made sure that our cast iron Dutch oven was perfectly seasoned and ready to receive its first meal. This evening, I'm going to try a new recipe, cornbread, and I think it's going to be pretty good. The first thing I need to do is go and get my campfire started, and then we'll start mixing our ingredients. Let's give this cornbread thing a shot and see how it turns out. People have been using coals to cook since, probably, the first people learned how to make fire. Having a skilled campfire cook was vital, whether you were feeding a crowd or maybe a more intimate meal for two. Either way, our early Texas residents were quite skilled, and I have nowhere near as much experience as they might have had cooking over a fire, but today I'm going to give it my best shot. My campfire is heating up. So let's take a look at our recipe. I chose this recipe from Fresh Off the Grid because I like my cornbread to be of the more spicy variety. The ingredients for cornbread are fairly simple, so maybe even I can do this. I've gathered all my ingredients here, so let's get to mixing. First, I'm mixing my wet ingredients: the milk, egg, and my 2 tablespoons of honey. Once these are mixed well, I can add my dry ingredients. Now I can add my cornmeal, flour, baking powder, and salt. Once these are added, I mix thoroughly. It's time to prepare the coals. Since I'm using wood, I need to simulate the heat from 24 charcoal briquettes as best I can. I decide to separate my wood embers as closely as possible to the size of a piece of charcoal. I separate them with a stick when necessary. I need 7 under the Dutch oven and around 17 on top. Once the bottom layer is arranged in a circle for even heating, I place the Dutch oven on top and add butter to start melting. Once the butter is coating my cast iron, I can add the cornbread mix. The remaining ingredients are sprinkled on top. After this is done, I do my best to simulate 17 charcoal briquettes on top of my lid with the wood embers. I place these as evenly as possible and then leave my bread to cook for about 20 minutes. At around 18 minutes, I pull up the lid to check on my bread. It's already brown on top, so I decide it's probably done. A quick test by putting my knife in confirms that the bread is completely cooked, and I take it off the heat. Some hints that your bread might be done are browning on top, or if you notice the sides of the bread pulling slightly away from the cast iron. Since mine is done, I go ahead and cut it while it cools off for just a little bit. My first piece tastes great. Go ahead, try this one out for yourself. And join us again soon to learn a new Pioneer skill. Thanks everyone!